There is nothing worse than two frustrated and unhappy people trying to make each other happy. There's nothing worse than two deeply unsatisfied people pretending that they are okay by being nice and polite in order to please the other people. Because when the other people will be happy, their family will be able to be happy as well. This screws up the business. It screws up the relationships. It screws up romantic relationships. It screws up your sex life if you're the one doing it. It's like two people unsatisfied in bed trying to make the other person happy first is screwing up the sex life. It's screwing up the family relationships, the father-son relationships. It simply screws up everything when you are unsatisfied and unhappy and you want to make the other people happy first. Why? Because if you want to make the other people happy first and you are unhappy, the only reason why you can do this is because somewhere in the back of your mind, there is a hope that then once you do this, you will get it in return. So when you be nice to other people and you give them what they want for free without them even having to ask, then you will receive it back. It's like a transaction. It's a contract. It's a contract that nice guys make with the world without knowing about it. And it's a contract that they really, really strongly adhere to. The problem is that they have these high expectations. In fact, it's a conviction. They are convinced that the world is supposed to give back to them what they deserve because they're so nice, right? But the world doesn't work this way. And the world rarely gives this back to them in return. So what happens is that they get pissed off. They get pissed off, they get angry, they get frustrated, but because they're so nice, they won't tell. No one's gonna find out because if they would, they wouldn't be nice anymore. And that's the last thing that they would want. So they're gonna all this anger instead of saying out loud what they genuinely think is, instead of saying out loud what they genuinely think, which is stuff like, so after all I gave to you, this is what I get in return. I'm so nice at all these people and this is what I get in return. I'm trying to do everything right and I don't get anything. I always finish last anyway. They won't say this because they know deep inside that there is a massive sense of entitlement. And no one likes people who are entitled, right? So they don't know what to do with this. And because of it, they just do, okay, so there is all this stuff inside me, all these emotions. These things are emotions. There are all these emotions inside of me and I don't know what to do with them. Damn it, so what do I do? Well, I can't screw anything with being nice. So I'm just gonna be nice. I'm just gonna be nice. Maybe if I try harder, maybe if I'm nicer, maybe if I'm nicer more aggressively, which is kind of an oxymoron, but when you look around yourself, you will see it. If I'm nice more aggressively, if I only try harder, then I will get what I want in return. And it's not working. It's never been working. This is not niceness. This is obedience with an expectation of something in return that they feel entitled to without them even knowing about it. And this ruins lives. It ruins careers. It ruins relationships. And I'll give you a couple of examples. The first one is management. When I was in my corporate times, I had a manager that was he wanted to be the nicest guy ever. He was nice to the team. He was nice to the clients. He was nice to his boss. And this guy wore himself down. I honestly speaking, the reason why he got so high in the corporation was just because he was really hardworking. And actually, he was smart. He was very, very smart. But when it comes to dealing with people, he always wanted to give everyone the most out of himself. The most out of himself, even at the cost of himself. He was nice to us, the associates, and we had no idea what we did wrong. Like I always went, like I feel like whatever I did, it was okay. There was, it just felt like who is this guy? Like who am I even talking with? There was no flavor of him. He just came to you and he was like this like rubber person who would wrap you around perfectly matching what you want, but there was no essence to him. You know what happened to him? People hated him. Everyone hated him. And once I saw him in a dinner in a team building where he was drunk and he was complaining to one of the assistants that no one understands him. It's so difficult. He's trying so hard and he wouldn't get any results. And no matter how hard he tries, he always fails, and so on. It was painful to watch. And back then, I was confused. I was confused because on one hand, I was feeling sorry for him because those emotions were real. The sadness, the apathy was real. And also the courage to speak up was real because it was vulnerable on one hand. But on the other hand, I felt a little bit pissed off. Like, why the hell are you where you are? Like, you're not supposed to cry like this when you were up there. Like, you are supposed to be a leader, to tell everyone to be able to lead confidently so that we can get the results as a team. You know how he ended up? He went through a burnout and then he got fired. I have no idea what he was doing with his life after that. The other example is a father. It's one of the guys I worked with. He was in a relationship with his woman, and his woman she simply stomped all over him. She would say mean shit to him, and he would just try to understand. He would try to walk around her. He would try to be nice. He would try to make sure that she's not upset, because if she's upset, then he must be doing something wrong. So he was really nice. Do you know how it happened? He almost went crazy. Eventually, she lost all the respect for him because there was nothing she could do for him to set a boundary. She had no idea who she's with. There was nothing of a man in him with her. And the relationship broke down. When a father wants his son to like him more than he wants to be a good example of what it means to be a man, then the relationship between the two is screwed. Is screwed. Because he will want to please his son. He will want to please him. There will never be a boundary set. There will never be masculine love, which is really enough. You can handle this and now go. There will always be trying to understand better, trying to give more appreciation, give more approval. How does this end? By endless discussion and the two hating each other because he just doesn't understand me. He just doesn't understand me. He just doesn't understand me. That's just wanting to be nice in the extreme. If you go into dating, you see it all around the place. Guys never approach women because they want to be nice. Just think about the logic of that. Guys never approach women in public because they want to be nice. They want to be nice so bad that they are afraid of being offensive to women by approaching her and asking and just sharing with her a compliment. So instead of just risking it and going for what they really want, they will say, no, I'm not going to do that because that might risk me being offensive. That might risk being not nice. So what they will do instead of that, nothing. They'll do nothing. They'll see a beautiful woman pass by and they'll do nothing. And they'll tell to themselves, deep inside, like this is not even something they might be consciously aware of, but they'll say, yeah, it's good that you haven't approached her. It's good that you haven't approached her, because what if you would say something stupid or something that's not appropriate and she would be offended by it and then she will think you're bad. No, it's good that you haven't approached her. Maybe the next time you will think it better, you will think it through and you will do it. Next time never happens. Next time never happens. These guys are so nice that they are single and they are swiping dating apps with poor results because they're always in their heads overthinking how to be even nicer. And the last example is sales. There's nothing worse than a sales guy trying to make his company grow, trying to make a living, speaking with a person and being so nice that he gives them the discount he doesn't even want to give them. And then being pissed off at the customer that they pushed them in the corner, and now the company has to suffer. Now he has to suffer. Now he has to explain his boss why he gave them a poor price, and so on. Being nice as a #1 priority is not working. It's never been working and it never will be working. What works the best as #1 priority is knowing exactly what you want. Having a skill to step into emotional tension that's required in order for you to get that outcome, get what you want. And 3, handling the emotions that come with it. Handling the shame that goes with it. Handling the guilt of asking for what you want. If you don't have to. You can run away from the guilt, but you will be hiding in the corner for the rest of your life, never really getting what you want, because what if someone gets upset? So knowing exactly what you want, stepping into the emotional tension that's required, and handling the emotion that goes with it. It's simple. It's super simple. It's much simpler than the nice guy logic of trying to figure out perfectly what they want and giving it to them without them having to ask, so that if I do it for long enough, I'm going to get the same thing in return. That's not how the world works. That's never how the world worked. And the nice guys just have to go and run against this wall over and over and over and over again until they break their heads enough times for them to actually see that it's not working like this and to do something different. So if there's something that resonated with you and you really are someone who wants to change this, and who doesn't want to talk about it, who doesn't want to understand it intellectually, but really go in depth and understand what's driving this behavior and root it out and eliminate it, then reach out on buymatters.com/book now and book a session with me. We're not going to intellectualize. We're not gonna philosophize about it. If you want to do this, then go to a debating association or a philosophy club. If you book the session on buymatters.com/book now, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go to the core of what's causing all this behavior. We're gonna find your optimal goal for the next period, and we're gonna craft a step-by-step game plan of specific action that's gonna help you get that. Okay? So if you're sick and tired of being nice, even if you don't feel like being nice, then go to buymatters.com/book now and book the session today. Thank you. And you know what? I almost feel pissed. And I didn't want to end this broadcast being pissed. So I just want to say in the end, I am kind of pissed, but I'm pissed at the people. I'm pissed at the problem. I'm pissed at seeing people doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, being nice. And when it doesn't work, they're just nicer. And maybe I'm pissed because I was doing it for a long time. Probably that's why I'm pissed. So now when I see other people who are doing the same thing, it just gets me pissed. So maybe it's good. Maybe it's good to be pissed about this, because it's this pissed off energy, it's this angry energy at the problem that's going to finally make you do the step that's necessary to make the change. So if that's you, again, go to buymatters.com/book now and book the session today. And I'm going to speak to you soon. Bye.